Hey folks, Dan Bell here with Intelligent. Today I'm going to go through another short tips video to show you how to create a custom field and then auto-populate it with the value from another field. Specifically, what I'm going to do is I want to have the ability to provide another name for the project. I'm going to call that the INT Project Name field, and we're going to put that field right here underneath the name field. And just an opportunity, it can be the same or it can be slightly different than the project name. I just want the ability to have a different name that may have to correlate to a different system. Then after I create that field and put it on the form under the name field here, I'm going to create a business rule, and that business rule is going to evaluate whether or not the INT project name field has a value currently assigned. And if it does not, it's going to go ahead and assign the name field value upon project save. All right, let's go ahead and get rolling through these changes. Okay, so there is my iDemo1 application in which I consolidate my changes. I will click on the pencil, the edit icon here. And the very first thing we're going to do here is navigate to data. In order to create that custom field, we'll expand the tables that are in my app. And I'm looking for the project table here, and I will open that table for editing. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and click on new column now that we have that table open for editing, and we'll call this INT Project Name. Not worried about a description. Single line of text is what I want. It's just going to be freeform text entry, a single line. The format is going to be text. The behavior will be simple. We'll leave it optional because the business rule is going to assign a field here. Therefore, the likelihood of it being empty is pretty much impossible. So with those values saved, we'll click save here and go ahead and save that change to create the new column. And if I were to scroll all the way to the right, you can see there's my INT project name field. Great. Let's close out of editing the table. Now we're going to navigate to the pages area. And while in the pages area, we'll select the project form. And once that form opens up, we'll click the edit button here, the edit form button. It's a little pencil. And now that form is opened up, as you can see, for editing. Name field's there. What I want to do is put the INT project name underneath that field. So over here in my available table columns, and it's only showing the unused, right? So we select that checkbox if we just want to see what's not currently on the form. We'll locate INT project name, click, hold with the left mouse button, drag it right under name until you see that thick divider line there. And once we see that, we'll let go of the left mouse button, and then we should see that INT project name field show up under the name field, which we now do. Field is currently selected as indicated by the box surrounding the name. And then over to the right in this dialog for INT project name, since we currently have it selected, we want to select the business rules selection here. And what I'm going to do next is click on new business rule. There's currently none defined, so we're going to create the first one. Go ahead and click on that, and then a new tab will open, and this will give us the ability to create that business rule. Now the first thing I'm going to do, let's give this a kind of a meaningful name. Set INT project name equal project name. Actually, let's do this. I'm going to set to. And so there's the name of the business rule. We've taken care of that. And now I'm going to select the condition by clicking on that box, and then we'll go ahead and select the values here that we want to determine when this is going to trigger. Okay, so what it's going to do is it's going to trigger on a specific field. That field is going to be the INT project name, and we want to change the operator to does not contain, right? So if it does not contain a value upon save, we're going to specify a value. I'm going to click apply here to select and save the changes for the condition. And we can INT project name contain a value. Let's give it a meaningful name. Click apply. You always have to remember to click that apply button before moving on to anything else from that particular section there. Let's click on components, and then what I want to do is select the set field value here. I'm going to click, hold, and drag out to the plus sign there. And now it's currently selected, and what this is going to do is set INT project name to project name. Okay, what I'm going to do is select my INT project name here because this is the field we're working on. We're going to set the value to. We're going to go ahead and specify a field for the value, and that is going to be the name field. Okay, so again, display name, set INT project name to project name. Here's the field. We select INT project name. We specify we want to set it to the value of another field, and that field's going to be the name field. And with that change implemented, we'll click apply once again. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and click save to make sure everything's saved here. Awesome. All right, it looks like it was already validated, but we're going to click validate again so you can see that message over here to the top left. And then finally, let's go ahead and activate that business rule. And here is a dialog confirming that we want to activate that, in which we do. We'll select the activate button. And we are all finished with that business rule. I'm going to close out of editing my business rule. Click done here. Now I'm going to head and we're going to click save and publish because we do want to save and publish any changes we made. Again, we added the field to the form and then we created the business rule. Okay, great. Looks like our save and publish is done. Let's go ahead and back out of editing our app. Then we'll click on apps here. And there's our project Power App. We'll go ahead and click on the play button in front of that. Okay, and we're brought to the default plans view in Project Power App. What I'm going to do is select to create a new plan. And we'll go ahead and call this TA Test 100. And there's the INT project name. What we wanted to do, like we said before, if it's not containing a value, when we click save, we wanted to assign the project name value. Let's go ahead and do that. And there we go. We can see that it populated as we expected it to. No value. It's going to assign the project name value. I'm going to save and close. I always like to do this just to make sure that the change persisted. And there's TA Test 100. What if we wanted to do this, right? We're just going to put the word indigent in front of it, the name of the business here. We're going to save. And since it contains a value, right, it's not going to overwrite this, okay, because that's the way we wrote the business logic, but we're going to save and close. And just confirm, going back in here, that it did save the value that we typed in, which it certainly did. There you go. There's the field. We created the field, created the business rule, tested it. Everything works exactly as we expected. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you have any recommendations for others, don't hesitate to reach out. Otherwise, have a wonderful day. Thank you.